Many people expected that as he came to Imo State for the inauguration of Hope Uzodimma for the second term, that he may have made a pronouncement regarding discontinuation of the case against Nnamdi Kanu. And some felt disappointed that he came to Imo, and that didn't happen. Do you believe, or are you of the school of thought that that case should be handled from the political angle as opposed to the continuation of the judiciary?
Yep. In all my interventions where the case of Nnamdi Kanu came up, I've often advised the government to take the political route. One, following the legal process will take a great deal of time. You can see one simple challenge against his extraordinary rendition from Kenya when traveled up to Supreme Court. And in that process, the actual trial was halted. And the Supreme Court ruled that despite the illegality perpetrated in that it does not stop the trial since it's not physically available. And that has always been my position, that Bintanyako would not mind, however, Nnamdi Kanu is brought back before her. And I think that I'm not a lawyer, but in some of the positions and postulations of the law are actually not commonsensical. And I do think that his matter was badly handled right from time when he was brought back and all that. I had expected that we should just downplay completely the aspect of a legal process, downplay it completely, and then get the federal government to discontinue what we call a null prosequi. Because the federal government instituted the trial and has every right to discontinue. This is very fundamental. And I also do think that it is still the process that ought to be pursued, even now, to shorten the whole process. Otherwise, if you follow the legal process, it means that the file, his case file will have to be transmitted again from the Supreme Court back to Bentanyako's court for continuation of his trial. This will take time. And as of last week, my contacts are saying that the files are still in the Supreme Court. So what does this tell you? That the federal government is simply, buying time, so they will keep him there for as long as they want. So what I would recommend is this. What I would recommend, Igbo political leaders, led by, I say led by 3 times, is for emphasis. No other than the governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodimma. You know why I said so? He is the closest to Tinubu now.
And also the chairman of the...
Forget about his chairmanship. The fact is that he's the closest. And he is not quite happy with the Biafra agitation. Himself has been a victim. He's a country home, burnt, his cars, and somebody was even killed there, I think a policeman. I think that men at that level should be a bit more magnanimous and put whatever personal losses they have incurred behind them and come out now and lead the process of ending this trial of Nnamdi Kanu. Because if you follow the legal and legalistic process, if at the end of the day, he doesn't get acquittal in Bentanyako's court, you have 2 options open to him. It means he will now have to appeal. Appealing means another 2-3 years to Supreme Court, to either discharge or we don't have the luxury of that kind of time. What we need to do is to appeal to federal government to discontinue. But I do know that the problem may not just be discontinuation. The problem may be the conditions being attached to the discontinuation. All these things are political and should be negotiated. Is the way to go for Nnamdi Kanu, for Igbo, for security, for national security and everything. We just have to all come together and end this nightmare.
Okay.